Chris Dixon was 49 years old. He was the athletic director and wrestling coach at Stoneman Douglas High School. He was described as everyone's best friend and the person you could always count on. He always put others ahead of himself. This is a life lesson to teach each and every one here. Chris Dixon taught us to love one another and put others' needs before our own, and I believe that is one of the best life lessons that life has to offer.
Gina Montalto was a smart, loving, and strong 14-year-old girl. She spent most of her time volunteering to help children with special needs and competing with her school's color guard. Gina loved to make people laugh, was always willing to help others, and was a talented artist. She also enjoyed playing soccer and flag football, cooking, reading, and shopping. Gina always worked very hard to achieve high grades. She loved her family and they loved her, especially her little brother, who claims he was her best friend. Gina had an incredibly bright future ahead of her. At her funeral, her family and friends were joined by over 100 airline employees, since her father is a pilot, to grieve her death. Gina's parents have started a GoFundMe to raise money for a scholarship fund in her name focused on secondary education. Her kind, sweet spirit will be missed by all who knew her.
Today, we stand together, united, as students and faculty, to honor those who tragically lost their lives on February 14, 2018 at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. These individuals had their entire lives ahead of them. With compassion and respect, we stand in memorial 17 minutes for the 17 who have fallen, each of which were victims of a system in dire need of change. And whatever that change may entail, we are ready to express our personal sentiment. We are not present for the purpose of partitioning groups with contrasting ideologies. Rather, we stand together to stimulate necessary conversation, a conversation for change.
We must respect the legitimacy of viewpoints even when we disagree with them, and that includes recognizing that high school students have a voice and a place in this conversation. Our voices cannot be silenced. Some of you might be thinking it's difficult to respect the legitimacy of the other side when their arguments are just so stupid, but I'm guaranteeing you that the person on the other side of the conversation is probably thinking the exact same thing. Before a serious conversation about serious issues can happen in our society, we must overcome what is preventing us from having that conversation. We must learn to love unconditionally and never to hate. We must see each other as human beings and Americans, looking past partisan labels. And when the hate seeps into the conversation from someone else, we must not reciprocate with more hate. For in the words of Dr. King, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
I would like to address a few comments that I saw on Facebook recently. Quote, kids are going to do whatever they can to get out of class. End quote. Quote, quote, this will be known as the head in the sand generation. End quote. Quote, this is called truancy and they should be jailed for. They are under 18 and have no rights. End quote. These were just a few of the hundreds of comments under the Wenatchee World's post about this rally. I would like to express to you guys that we are not doing whatever we can to get out of class. We are doing whatever we can to save lives and to make a difference.
The intelligence that they're demonstrating, you know, they're so articulate. And they're like on the same page as far as what they're all saying basically the same thing. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, that's really truly wonderful, and that's a national movement. Wow. I mean, you know, in a way, I'm so proud, you know. But it also it saddens me what happened, and I think that's what really saddens the whole nation. It just, you know, those senseless killings, and they're our youth, you know, their lives were just beginning.
My 8th grade daughter, we were talking about this last night, and I asked her, do you want to go down and march? She said, Dad, I think I do. I'm here, this generation that is out here often gets, I mean, they're called names, they're called, they're lazy, they're everything like that. And I take a lot of pride in what I saw today. My views maybe not necessarily are the same as what their views are, but that's what makes America great, is that you can assemble and you can sit there and you can talk about it. Chris Danko there, that kid there, he's destined for something great. I love the way that he speaks, and his message rang through for this 40-some-year-old man, and I see youth, I see enthusiasm, and I see the future of our country out here. And like I said, it may not be exactly the way I see, but you know what? Sometimes you can teach a couple old dogs new tricks, right?